Yaka. A bath kit. There's some sport kit on the car. I was watching a video which came up in my feed, and I wanted to talk about it and I may have to go over this many times. I don't think I'll get all the points across in this one video, but let me just at least have a quick discussion on it. And the video was taken first, there was a clip from the Whatever podcast, and it's a guy, American guy, and white American guy, and there's some black girls on the show, and she was telling him during the slave trade, slaves were eaten, and he couldn't believe it. And actually a white woman comes up on the video, and she starts to give the points, the facts, talking about how they used to eat slaves and describing all the atrocious things they used to do, and how they used to use our skin, black skin, to make leather, and to make shoes and all this stuff. And it got me to thinking, 2026, it doesn't even matter if you watch this in the future, in terms of race relations, and you have people in interracial relationships, and you have people coming together, but you also have a great deal of people that are sort of against black people, that are racist, and it intrigues me to wonder why. What are the roots of this racism? Because a lot of it is it feels innate. It feels like it's it comes from somewhere deeper. It's not just the fact, I don't like black people. It comes from maybe their past lives, with spirits. That could be something from the past. It could be some old belief systems. But it intrigues me to want to get into the heads of these people, because a lot of the time, I know there's sometimes talk about ignorance, but a lot of these people who have these views, they listen to black music, they wear black clothes, culture, they use inventions, they have players that they support in certain football teams, they have ideas for a lot of stuff, a lot of things that's been originated by black people that they use in their day-to-day lives. I've just named a few there. Yet they still have this innate vibration towards black people. Even if you think about during those moments, you think about some people will come and say, this wasn't the first acts of racism, of slavery, which is true. Yet if you look at the writings and the brutality around transatlantic slavery, you will read some of the most cruel acts against humanity. And there was actually a vote in an assembly where they took up a vote for nations to agree that slavery was the worst, transatlantic slave trade was the worst event on humanity. And most nations could agree, some disagreed, and there was a few that didn't vote. I think the UK didn't vote, the US, and I believe it was Argentina. But go and do your own research about that vote. If I can find it somewhere, I may link it in the description. So they wouldn't take it as the worst act on humanity, even though if you read the facts about what happened, the types of things they did during the time, We know we've had some other atrocious events, but this was against humanity. What they did against black people, was really terrible. That no human ever had to endure. And it's more documented, and a lot of it is not documented. And I think for society to start to heal the trauma for black people and everybody, white people, I think for one we'll have to first accept how brutal it was. Take responsibility. Accept that this is something that has happened, and ask for forgiveness, and just start to work towards reparations, work towards stopping things like this to ever happening, and how we can heal together, grow together, to build something together as one. But to get to that point, you obviously have to go through the stages to heal, to actually accept that what happened, because this is what happened, and how we can get over what happened. But that will take a lot of time. But what you'll find is a lot of people won't even accept, of how bad these acts were against humanity. And when I look at the modern time, I believe that some of the bigotry and fascism is linked to narcissism. So people are saying that they like themselves. It's subconsciously that they are very much identifying with the race of what they are, and this is going towards sort of how they feel towards other races, so they are sort of liking their own races. You could also look at the teachers of Francis, is it Clarice Winsing? I can't remember if that's the correct way of saying her name. And she talks about racism being linked to the eugenics and the science of how the white race is trying to stop itself from being wiped out. And I actually watched a video about this many years ago. I don't know what I'm getting is correct. What the video was saying is that in the next sort of 500 years, there will be a new root race, being the mixed race. So most people alive in the next 500 years will be mixed race, and that would be like a new kind of prominent race, and there will be not many, if any, white people. So it's a very juicy topic, but I believe that we, create things better together as human beings, that's all the races. That's usually my standpoint. I do have moments when I've been victimized, or I've been suffered some sort of level of bigotry or racism, and that makes me sort of turn up the heat for a short time, where I'm very much pro everything black, but then I settle down into my soul, and my soul won't allow me to hold that kind of hatred. So that's very important. So you see, you have good and bad in all races. So it doesn't particularly matter which one you belong to, as long as you know that you're sort of on the right team. You're for Most High, or you're siding with Shaitan. And even if you're in your lower nature, you can still be in your lower nature and repent. You can bounce back. You can ask for forgiveness. You can balance your polarity and energetic field by, doing things that will equalize your karmic resources. Obviously, you've got your karmic bank, and obviously when you do good for humanity, you sort of deposit into your karmic bank, and when you do bad against humanity, you take away. So there are ways to balance that out. So that was the point. So I think I'm going to maybe delve deeper in this and go into this more. But it's very interesting that in this modern times, people cling to this ideology or this white supremacist idea, given the fact that in this world everything is for the European type people. This world, things are benefiting towards white people. They've benefited off the backs of black people, and even though they've done that, there is no sort of mass understanding of what black people are going through on a day-to-day basis, and how we can kind of reduce these ideas, and how we can work towards letting people see that it's only the human race, and how people can actually come together, build things together, create together, share wealth together, which is a big one, share power, which is something that doesn't happen often. Share power with your black contemporaries, start communications with black people you don't know, start making friends with black people you don't know, say hello to black people you haven't met, involve them into your social group, involve us into your living abode, invite us into your groups, and if you actually want to stay and not do those things and continue with what you're doing, and they're saying there's a new race war which some sort of neo-Nazi people are getting ready for in America, you shouldn't really feel bad if you have look at this little squirrel. Hello. You shouldn't really feel bad if you have black people congregating and doing their own thing and sort of coming together and, you know, building their own societies, building their own networks, building their own institutions. You shouldn't feel any way about that. You should let them do those things, and it shouldn't affect you. And we can both individually work either side by side and be allies, or we can interconnect. Completely up to you, because we tend to be very forgiving, we tend to be very welcoming, we tend to be very relaxed when it comes to these sort of things. So with that, guys, hopefully we can all move forward together in a positive way.